DePaul's theater school, located on the Lincoln Park campus, is producing The Rover, a play created by the first Englishwoman to make an independent living as a writer, Aphra Behn. The play is set in 1956 Naples, Italy, revolving around a set of noble Spanish sisters and a group of English cavaliers who meet at Carnival, an event similar to a masquerade. The director of the production, Melanie Capon, says Aphra Behn was a trailblazer.
Aphra was definitely ahead of her time in a really wonderful way, but also, sadly, I think we ourselves are still a little behind.
The story sends a strong message about female empowerment as the main characters struggle to fight against what they have been told is their destiny. For Sister Florinda, it's to become a nun.
A nun, no.
And for Helena, it's to marry someone she does not love.
By marrying Antonio here, which you must do tomorrow.
Tomorrow!
The play features romance, comedy, and action-packed fight scenes, but also carries a strong message from the writer Behn.
Hang me if I don't love me for that dear disobedience.
She's definitely making a comment about the Englishmen of her time, the English people of her time, and I think it's just really fascinating how, she's talking about gender and she's talking about women's choice and, the kind of empowering women in a way that it's still relevant today.
Aphra Behn challenges the roles of 17th century women by discussing gender politics. This comedy, The Rover, seems relevant even centuries later.
She was way ahead of her time in some of the social issues and things that she was talking about, and it was also it was pretty revolutionary just in the act that she was a successful female writer and she was a woman.
The original play was written over 3 centuries ago, but the cast, along with director Capon, says the themes still ring true.
One of the great things about The Rover is actually how relevant it is today, especially, and it's highlighted even more in our production. It's already in the text, but we've highlighted it even more in our production with women having their own agency and being able to say yes and no to things and basically kind of being able to forge their own path. And in the context of the play, it's a very male-dominated world, and these women are kind of okay, I see that, and they use that to their advantage to get what they want throughout the play.
Another theme is the meaning of marriage. The sisters challenge their status, wanting more from their lives, seeking true romance.
One of the largest themes is marriage, just what that means. I think in that time, I think people, it was more of a business transaction versus what we think of it now, which is more for love. And I think the women in this play are thinking about, marrying for love and getting to decide who they want to love.
The story challenges the 17th century ideal of marriage and depicts its actuality.
I'll be baked with thee between a pair of sheets, and that's thy proper still.
It's just funny to see how history, I think, repeats itself, and I think audiences will find, that it's in a way a little scary to see that we haven't changed that much. That things are still different, but things haven't changed. So, I think it can be sort of a wake-up call, I think, in a way.
The cast hopes that audience members will leave able to discuss how the modern-day woman is reflected in the story.
He, out of freedom, makes his dressing room, and being a frugal and a jealous coxcomb, instead of a valet to uncase his feeble carcass, he desires you to do that office.
I think in a way, I think Aphra Behn and I think our production is trying to talk about how it's still a trap, that, this world is still a man's world and these women are still trapped in it and they're just going from one cage and jumping into another. So kind of discussing what that means for what is marriage, what is it supposed to be, what is that ideal, and what is it actually in reality.
This play, although very Shakespearean in style, is a comedy that paved the way for female playwrights, poets, and novelists by exploring the roles of men and women. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Natalie Wade.